Hi friends, and welcome to this video. As you know by the title of this video, we're going to do a little garden update while I cook with ingredients from my garden. What I'm cooking is a tomato soup. I've never made tomato soup before, but my tomatoes did so well this year that I needed to find creative ways to use all of them or they would go bad. I was actually growing so many that I started giving some away. My zucchini also really popped off. In Washington, tomatoes and zucchini, any type of squash really, I think, does really well. This is my first year having my own garden. My landlord put in a planter box. When I signed the lease, I asked if it would be okay to plant some things, and because he built some condos next to my house, and kind of had to redo my yard, he just put in a planter so that I could plant some things. So I planted tomatoes, zucchini, onion, basil, and red pepper. I also had some lettuce, and later I threw in some chamomile seeds just to see if they would grow, and they've really sprung up. There is so much chamomile that I don't know what to do with. It's like spreading like weeds almost, so at some point I might have to tear some out or transplant it somewhere else. I didn't keep track of how much money I spent planting my garden. I bought starters for almost everything that I planted with the exception of the chamomile because I did get a late start planting since I was waiting on my yard to be finished. I also bought soil because they had filled it in with some soil, but I didn't know if there were many nutrients in it, so I bought some soil from the plant store that was enriched. I also bought a shovel and some gloves because since this is my first garden, I didn't have any of those things before. But I kept track of how much I got back from everything, with the exception of the chamomile because I don't really know how I would keep track of that. I guess I could weigh it, but normally chamomile is sold in bags and stuff like that, so it would be hard to keep track of how much value I'm getting out of it. My zucchini, I ended up with 446.8 ounces of zucchini, which is quite a bit. That comes out to about 27.9 pounds. I looked up the prices at my local grocery store, and the zucchini is being sold for about $3.50 per pound, which means I grew 97.74 dollars worth of zucchini, which is quite a bit. I definitely got my money's worth back on the zucchini. The red bell peppers, I've only so far gotten 2, but there are a few more still growing, so maybe I'll get a few more. They're currently being sold for $2.29 each, which brings me to a total of $4.58 for those. The tomatoes, I grew 307.5 ounces, which is 19.22 pounds, which comes to $67.27. Again, quite a bit. The lettuce, unfortunately with the starters, when you plant a starter for lettuce, you only get one lettuce head out of each starter. So I only got 2 big things of lettuce. They also sell for about $2.29 each, which brings me to $4.58. So my total for everything, if we're excluding the basil and the chamomile, because I don't really know how to total those up, is $174.17. My onions unfortunately kind of withered away, and now that it's November, they've started sprouting again, so I'm not really sure what's happening there. I thought they had died, so I guess I'll just keep an eye on those. Next year, I'll definitely be planting zucchini and tomatoes again, but I might also want to try some other plants. So if there's anything that you think I should try, let me know. The lettuce I might try to do from seed this year since I should be able to get an earlier start. That way I'm not buying starters. The onions I'll probably pass since they didn't really seem to work. And I was thinking it might be kind of fun to plant pumpkin or something just because it's such a festive thing. But in a small planter box, I'm not sure how well that would go. I will definitely continue growing herbs like basil. I currently also have thyme and rosemary that I started inside and recently transplanted outside. I'm not sure if they'll survive the winter, but if they don't, I'll definitely plant more because they were really nice to have on hand and not have to buy at the grocery store. If you have any good recipes for zucchini or tomatoes, definitely let me know, because I end up growing so many that I don't know what to do with them. So I end up frying them, grilling them, putting them in salads, everything you can think of. So if you have any good recipes, definitely let me know so I can try them out next year. Now that it's November, it's time to kind of dig up everything in my yard that's starting to die, and I'm looking forward to being able to plant next spring. If you liked this video, make sure to give me a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. I'll see you guys all in the next one.